passion, winning well their only goal. 40 minutes each week and work wonders for the soul. Monday through till Friday, nothing matters much at all. But on weekends, all we're gonna salute the oval ball.
March the 28th. Wigan are playing Bradford Northern in the semi-final of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup. If they win, Wigan will go to Wembley for the final, for a record 5th time in a row.
He's got support with him now then. He's got
Wigan's performance that afternoon simply stunned the world of rugby league.
And Miles takes it and he's over. Oh, wonderful try. Tester for Green again. He's lost it again. And Edwards is in. Yes! The fire is over. Yes! Fire is into the corner. Gregory, he'll go for the dummy surely. He gets into a fire and there's his hat-trick. Gets it away to Miles. He's in.
Victory over another top side by 71 points to 10 is not common in the modern game. But then neither is Wigan's 5-year dominance of the Challenge Cup itself.
Dennis! Yes! Yes! John!
We don't need to say an awful lot because the press will be doing it for you tomorrow with all the records. But something I would really like you to listen to is our sponsor, Brian.
Thanks, Morris. All I can say is, you probably don't know, every time Wigan score, me and Ray have a drink. Today I'm pissed. What more can I say? From me and Ray and Norweb to check you for 5k.
Wait a minute. Let him in. Let him in.
Go! Joe, the best again! Joe, the best again! Oh, the best again! The winning bronze! Oh, the best again! Here we go!
For the last 5 years, Wigan chairman Maurice Lindsay has enjoyed basking in his team's reflected glory.
What did I say?
You're setting standards.
Oh yeah, we can't be blamed for setting a standard of excellence. That's our job. Set a standard of excellence, and it's up to everybody else to match it and surpass it.
Going to Wembley ensures that you take your share of a 1.72 million gate. It ensures that your sponsor is happy. It ensures that all your bonuses with your different sponsors come rolling in. So it gives that added confidence to set up for next season. If you win the Challenge Cup, we find that your season tickets for the following year go up and up and up.
Today, it would be hard to exaggerate the pride that Wiganers take in the success of their rugby league team. Yet only 10 years ago, many locals had turned their backs on the club.
It was back in 1981 when Wigan plunged into the second division. They were dark days indeed. The club itself hadn't been doing very well, obviously, but to go into the second division was a real wrench. I remember the evening paper at the time splashed the front page on the fact that the club had gone down. And it was a disaster, really.
A, we were in the second division 10 years ago. B, we had crowds of 4,000 and under 10 years ago. And C, we had no great players.
It was at that low point in the club's history that Maurice Lindsay took over as chairman, bringing with him inspiration and money.
It was his business acumen that set him on the road. He realised there was a business opportunity available when he came and took over Wigan. If he could bring success to the field, then the turnstiles would click over and the fans would flock back to watch a successful club.
As well as investing his own money, Maurice has seldom fought shy of putting the club heavily into debt, if it meant he could build the right team.
We've invested £2 million in a stand and £500,000 in Martin Offield within 6 months. It's a catch-22 situation. You go heavily into debt by building a new stand, then you need to spend money on the team to keep it winning to afford to pay the debt on the new stand.
It's always been a financially risky strategy, but Maurice is a risk-taker by profession.
£2 please, sir.
£2. She'll be giving me the 200 quid you owe me for telling you not to go to Edinburgh yesterday.
I've always held a bookmaker's permit. I don't have a chalk and a board. I stand on the rails, which is in the members' enclosure, and in a rather quieter, more subtle manner, trade as a rails bookmaker.
I've lost some horse races, this one there, you know? Yeah.
Okay. I think Barry's in front.
If he is a gambler, he's a damn good one, because all the risks he takes appear to pay off. All the players he's signed over the years have all been astute signings. Compared to some other clubs who have spent millions of pounds and basically not met with much success, every time Wigan dabble in the transfer market, they seem to come up with players who are great value for money.
No one has proved better value than Shaun Edwards. A brilliant schoolboy international, Maurice snapped him up on his 17th birthday before any other club had a chance. Within a week, he was in the first team, where he's remained ever since. At 25, he's at his peak, already a veteran international and the archetypal Wigan professional.
Got to have tunnel vision and controlled aggression, both to stick to the game plan and to get stuck in, when it gets hard.
His professionalism has brought Shaun 18 championship medals, as well as 10 broken noses and, in this match, 2 broken ribs.
Sometimes I can't play in the lesser games, but the big games, you get a bit of a buzz out of it, especially when there's a big crowd on, and you think you've got something to prove. And that's what motivates me to play. I've got something to prove.
For Shaun, the 1990 Wembley final turned into a chance to prove more than he'd intended.
After about 8 minutes, put a kick through, but this guy come and hit me late.
Oh, that's obstruction, surely.
Well, just watch this, what happens here. Shaun Edwards, a lovely little chip over the top here. Now watch what happens if he kicks it. Bang, down he goes.
Time I thought I'd been hit with an elbow, and I broke my eye socket in multiple places. It's all smashed up, and I had a severe depression in my cheekbone. And I knew straight away what I'd done, even before I hit the ground, because I just feel on my face was like caved in. Our physio wanted me to come off, but I didn't want the opposition to know that they could get me out of it just with it smashing my face up. I didn't want them to know that it could hurt me. They'd tried to do me 3 times before in the game, and it's quite obvious what the tactics were. They was trying to get me out of the game, but I just went having it.
Down the middle, that's the ball to Edwards.
I said I could have, if I got another bad bang in it, I could have been blind. I suppose me, I'm just a bit of a psycho sometimes.
To the sticks, to the sticks.
The reason they are champion players is they're a little different from everybody else. And, maybe I'm a little different from everybody else as well. When the team's going well and the players are getting plenty of good publicity, they don't need another slap on the back from the coach. I think that's the time when a coach has to be critical, and you've got to pick out their faults, and you've got to say, look, you know, everybody's saying how good we are, but let's just hold it a minute and have a look. Can we improve?
John Money and his team have just 5 days training left before the Wembley final.
When it comes to the crunch, execution is probably the thing that wins the game. We've got a team that can execute under pressure, I feel, as well as any team that I've ever coached. So a lot of that execution comes back to how you practice. You must keep practicing till the execution's spot on.
Everybody knows that they don't mess around with John Money, and we're all the same to John, and John will drop you just like that if he wants to. There's so many good players down there that can take your position. That's why people play well week in, week out, whereas at other clubs, you're more or less guaranteed your position if you're a first-teamer. And if you're playing bad, you're going through a bad spell, you carry on playing and playing. We're at Wigan, they don't. It's deadly serious because they're getting paid to do a job, and if you don't do your job, you lose your job, and that's as easy as that.
Billy is Wigan's most recent signing. A year ago, he was working in his parents' pub, playing at Warrington, and watching his career drift downhill. Wigan spotted his potential, bought him, and now, as well as being in the Great Britain squad, he's looking forward to a Wembley final, and with it, the biggest payday of his life.
I signed for Wigan. I knew that if I could get in the first team, I could make a lot of money just by playing in the first team and getting winning bonuses. And as it is, that's what's happened.
What's Wembley going to be worth? And it's quite a lot.
I'm not exactly sure. I think it's going to be around £6,000.
The rewards for the Wigan team are the best in rugby league. The top players earn well over £100,000 a year, but most of that is made up of winning bonuses. To make big money, they must win the big matches, and none is bigger than the Challenge Cup at Wembley in 2 days' time. They have now won their last 22 games and haven't been beaten in the Challenge Cup since 1987. They are expected to win at Wembley again, but for John Money and the Wigan board, being such hot favourites is not entirely comfortable.
The thing that I'm worried about with Castleford is that people have written them off.
I think we're going to expect a hard game, though, John, don't you, with Castleford?
Well, the motivation's going to be there with Castleford because everybody's told them all week they haven't got any chance. For any football team, that's the greatest motivation you can have when everybody says, why are you turning up, you can't win. I mean, I wish they were saying that about us, but they're not. So Castleford will be really fired up and it'll be a tough opening. We'll see what happens on the day.
Well, it's in the luck of the gods.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, mate.
Okay, thank you.
The team travel down to London 2 days before the final. And in what is now becoming an annual ritual, the supporters turn out to see them off. The fans have grown used to their team winning.
It's expected of us. I mean, the fans expect it of us. I suppose they're a bit spoiled, really, but sooner or later we are going to lose. Hopefully it's not at Wembley. I mean, that's what spurs me on, the fear of losing. You know, I would hate to think that I'm going there as captain, and the first captain in 5 years to lose. That spurs me on, the fear.
Fear of failure has been probably my greatest motivation throughout the 10 years. We've had defeats and they've hurt badly, but we've bounced back and we've improved from it. We lost at Wembley in '84, and I have to admit that I choked. I literally had to go somewhere and sort of fight back the tears because I didn't want anybody to see how emotionally hurt I was. Because Wembley can do that to you. But we played somewhere near our potential, but we just weren't good enough. We strengthened the side and we went back with a better side, and we've been taking good sides down there ever since. Because having tasted bitter defeat, I know how much it hurts and how long it stays with you.
Wembley Stadium, May the 1st, the day before the Challenge Cup final.
just in case. Kneel, please.
This one? There we are.
Listen, it.
That worked.
That's the thing.
Thank you.
That's the.
You right, boys? You finished?
Yeah.
Okay. See ya.
See ya. See you tomorrow. Good luck. Won't need it.
Radio Lancashire, #1 for sport.
Nolan Prince.
Well, D-Day's arrives when 40,000 red and white rugby fanatics from Wigan are departing from our beloved county to make that all-too-familiar journey down the M6 motorway to the Twin Towers of Wembley, now regarded as the Cherry and White's second home, as they've proved over this past season, being World Club Champions, World Sevens Champions and Championship winners. They're simply the best.
Everybody wrote it off again at Christmas. But where are we again? Wembley. The magical towers.
Once we get this close to the event, it's tough for me because my job's over now. I've prepared the side, I've put the plays in that we think will work, and it's all over really. It's sit around, wait with the rest of the guys.
Ready? Go. 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 Go.
Walking back again, a couple of lines, down instead.
Leaving Wigan, remember, last one out of the town, turn the light out.
Just got to get your head right, you know, the morning of the game. I'm not the kind of person who gets like psyched up for days before a game, really. The morning of a game, I start thinking about it. I'm usually pretty quiet before a game, and I think, well, it's my day of work today. You know what I mean? I've got to think and concentrate.
Sure.
Two away for one.
Two away, Warrington, right. Two away, Warrington. Turn up.
3 by 3.
Platty. And spin, mate. If I shoot it, it's not on.
And we We're doing winger in March.
Winger in March.
Just give it the winger.
Winger in tail.
Winger in tail.
Coach the tail.
But like what we, you know, when we played at Leeds and we
We'll not get them first, then we'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
They'll run from the scrum over, won't they?
I'll fly back.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I'll try back to green.
Never mind the atmosphere, never mind nothing. Just think about them 13 we're playing against.
I've been here before, we know what to expect.
The occasion at Wembley is big enough to put anybody over the top emotionally. We've seen it happen at a lot of Wembleys where players go out and they just don't perform for 20 minutes. They get lost for half an hour where they can't get in the game, and that's only because of the emotion that's generated by the event. And so on the day, I always find with the big games, what you've got to do is calm the players down. You don't have to build them up.
Yeah, right. Right there.
I've been very nervous all week because I'm always terrified of losing. It's wonderful to be chairman of a side that's accomplished so much, but we're only as good as your last game. It's the fear of failure that drives us on.
The 1992 Silk Cut Challenge Cup final. Please welcome Castleford and Wigan.
urging them on. Certainly a new life around this Yorkshire side. And Castle for the back! Before Wigan nothing. 19 points to 4. Here's an overlap on this outside to Wigan, cuts him inside. Yes, it is in at the corner. Wigan come back. What will Castleford do? Will they move it up? The other 6 touches. Beautiful play. It's a try. So, Franowatica. Very, very accomplished goal kicker. Ranks them from the touchline, and none better than that. The hooter goes. Wigan, the Challenge Cup winners for the 5th consecutive year. 28 points to 12.
You must be a pleased man, Chair.
I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm pleased for the coach, I'm pleased for the boys.
They've done well.
It's an incredible performance, really.
Incredible team.
It's not just the 5 Silk Cup trophies on the trot, it's the fact they've won the league and the cup double 3 years running.
3 years on the
And
trot.
that's
Congratulations. I voted for you. I voted for you.
Let's do it, Mr.
He's a hooker.
They made the break. They got the first try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Labour.
What's the story behind that?
Oh, it's just
It was drunk one day.
all the forwards got a brand. Get a forward.
That'll teach you to drop the ball.
Stevie Hampson now at fullback.
Stevie Hampson.
Hi, Stevie. Well done.
He's a fullback. He's a
Must be very pleased with that
Great
outcome.
Britain fullback as
Yeah,
well.
but been had the last 5 years.
Was there any wind out there with the high balls?
No, straight down the rain.
Twickenham, I'm used to them twirling all over the place, but they seem to come.
Bit of a boring game, though, isn't it?
You're speaking to a member of Harlequins who was here today and not at Twickenham.
Should have been at Twickenham. So I think.
Congratulations. Well, congratulations.
That's tremendous.
We're going to do the double.
Go away. Well done. That was fabulous performance. You must be very proud of the team. Okay.
Nice to see you, John.
Thank you.
Pineapple ring.
Last time I eat pineapple.